A wire-to-wire lead for the win. I'll take it. What's up, Broncos country? My name is Brandon Gilchrist. Well, we stacked another win, and this one felt good. For the first time this year, the Broncos led from the start of the game all the way through to the end. Again, another way that this team has shown that they can win. There were a lot of Broncos fans in the stands, and you could hear it coming through the television screen. They sweep the Raiders for the second year in a row, and now have the number 1 seed in tiebreakers against the Patriots. Overall, it was a dominating performance from start to finish. The Broncos dominated in time of possession, 39 minutes to the Raiders 21. And the game went fast. With commercials and all, pretty sure this game was done in under 3 hours. I was able to watch basically the last quarter of our upcoming opponent's game just to already get some early study in. You saw great pressure from the defense all day. Whether it was Geno Smith or Kenny Pickett behind center, they couldn't really get anything going. I really wanted RJ to get reps, and that's exactly what Sean Payton and the Broncos did this game. Whether it was in the passing game or the running game, RJ was the focus. It was great to see him answer the bell. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the way this game ended. It was a dominating performance, and the scoreboard isn't going to indicate as much. Allowing them a touchdown and a field goal right at the end is just a little bit annoying to an otherwise excellent day from our Denver Broncos. When we look at some key moments of the day, Marvin Mims once again showing up big for special teams. A punt return touchdown. His very first punt return touchdown. This is the first punt return touchdown the Broncos have seen since I believe 2020. Geno Smith unfortunately exited this game. Again, our defense was just punishing him, and that offensive line was just allowing Geno to get pummeled, and he left the game, and we're wishing him well. It was funny to see the contrast in snaps per game for our defense this time around. They played 50 snaps compared to 90 snaps on defense in Sunday Night Football just last week. The entire front seven had a dominant performance, with Nick Bonito notching 2 sacks. He seems to be on track to surpass his career level of sacks last year in 13. You saw at the start of this game the Raiders try to do some quick timing and mirror very much a similar game plan that the Commanders had against the Broncos. They scored quickly right after the Broncos scored on a long drive, but then the defense responded, applying more pressure to Geno and Kenny Pickett, and from there, it was all she wrote. We will need to keep an eye on how we cover tight ends and a bit of the passing game. Our coverage will need to make sure that they are covering all the way through the whistle. I know on average they're only having to cover 2 to 3 seconds because our pass rush gets there so quickly, but they need to be ready to cover a little bit longer with some of the better lines that they will face in this last stretch and in the playoffs. For our offense, it seemed like they were on the field all day. This one felt comfortable from the very beginning all the way through to the end, which was kind of nice. They put together monster drives on this one. 2 drives of 14 plays that took 9 minutes off the board, and a third long drive that was 19 plays, 10 minutes and 17 seconds. They were 7 of 12 on third down. Couple that with 27 first downs. It's no wonder this game felt like it went fast. The Broncos just methodically marched down the field, ended in touchdowns like we've been looking for, and made sure there wasn't any doubt who was the better team on the field. When we look at the rushing game, just over 30 carries for 152 yards. That's exactly what we want to see, with RJ carrying the bulk of that. 17 for 75 yards and a rushing touchdown. He now has 9 touchdowns on the year. He also had 6 catches for 25 yards. And you just saw with the level of reps that he was getting, his vision was getting a little bit better. His runs were getting a little bit better. There was great balance between the runners as well. Love to see that Jaleel McLaughlin came in just to spell RJ. He had 4 carries for 22 yards of his own. And then shout out to Adam Prentice as well. A couple fullback carries today, with him actually having the longest run of the day. He moved the chains every single time he got the ball. That was awesome to see. And then our boy, Bo Nix, looked great behind center. This is the 3rd game in a row now that he's looked much more settled, and he looks like he's seeing the field much better, and his whole entire posture feels quiet. which is great to see. We also got to see Bo use his legs and score a rushing touchdown from 8 yards out. That's going to be huge come playoff time, and I'm glad to see this is the perfect time that he's starting to use that and make defenses think about that part of his game as well. Once again, I love the distribution of the football in this one. Courtland Sutton was not only the lead target in this game, he was the number one receiver. That's how we want it to be when our Broncos play. Love seeing Pat Bryant intermixed in there, and it does seem that Pat Bryant is starting to be that second most reliable receiver, okay with his ticks going up, and that was awesome to see. This offense is heating up. Special teams is finding their stride as well. We already mentioned the punt return touchdown. Will Lutz made the field goal when he needed to. Jeremy Crawshaw only punted once today, and it was inside the 20 on the 5. Great day from special teams as well. Complimentary football at its best. When we talk about build the bunker or bring the thunder, another thing we're going to be keeping our eye on is our coverage of tight ends. Now, our upcoming opponent, their number one tight end, won't be playing, but that doesn't mean we can get lazy when it comes to how we cover tight ends in this game. In terms of bring the thunder, this running game, the balance that we had today for a Sean Payton offense is exactly what you want to see. This formula is how we run the table. Keep it going. Now let's talk about weekly salutes. There's a few I want to give out this week, starting with the defensive line. All of them. Those boys up front are pushing people around. They're stopping the run. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. And the rotation that we're seeing up front, DJ Jones wasn't able to play today, and Malcolm Roach stepped in beautifully. Salute to the defensive line. Incredible performance today. Next, I want to give some recognition to Pat Bryant. As I've said, he is quietly becoming the second most reliable receiver on this team. He was 4 for 4. And when you go back and look at the games, if you throw the ball to him, the man's going to catch it. His drops are few and far between. Couple that with the fact that he is excellent in blocking for the run and prides himself in having receivers or running backs run behind him. His game is just going to be getting better and better, and I wanted to recognize it. Pat Bryant, I think, is going to be one of those guys that makes a play for us when it matters most come playoff time, and it'll be a welcome sight to see. Salute to Pat Bryant and his game. Excited to see his future. And then finally, gotta give a salute to RJ Harvey. So excited this was an RJ Harvey game. Said he needed the reps, and he responded. 100 total yards from scrimmage. He was a big chunk of the total offense, and that's what we want to see, especially in this stretch of the season, especially as we head into the playoffs. Let's see more of it. Salute to RJ Harvey. Great day. Let's keep it going. Look, this was one where I said, we know this opponent. Let's just go get the job done and leave no doubt. And that's exactly what our Broncos did. The tests get harder and harder from here. And we've got an opponent coming into town who's now leading in their division, is a well-balanced football team, and will be a great matchup for our Broncos. I'm excited about the contest. It was great to see our Broncos put away the Raiders and show who dominates this division now. What did you like from Sunday's performance? Anything you're looking forward to in the contest we've got next week? Let me know in the comments. As always, be kind. Talk to you soon, Broncos country.